I just said so many things and was not recording, and this video was already supposed to be about me being overwhelmed.
Investigate lost adventurer blueprints. Oh, in the Wonderwood Wilds area. And I gotta investigate the town model, so that's like all over the place, isn't it? Maybe we can go travel with Nigel.
I have put off filming this video for so long. I was supposed to do it Monday. Didn't do it Monday because Monday was a cluster. And then couldn't do it yesterday. My husband was home and literally would not leave the couch. Sir, give me some space. Today, it's 10 o'clock and I haven't filmed yet. I've been watching Little Simsy stream Sims for the new Adventure Awaits pack. It's coming out tomorrow. I've been throwing myself into work because it's so busy. And I've been doing so many voice memos to friends, writing friends, that I can't even keep up anymore. There's just so much happening. I've been telling everybody I just want to work until my job is books. I want to write and I want to be an agent, and that's what I've been working toward. So with my day job, it's paying the bills, right? It's my patron while I work on my art, while I work on books. And I just have to remember to treat it as such. And sometimes it's really hard. We're supposed to be, now that it's October, going into a quieter season. And I'm starting to feel that today. I don't have any meetings, no pop-up meetings. I haven't had any random calls yet. Of course, as I'm saying that, I get a message from one of my favorite people, so it's fine. He's a really hard worker and he just communicates so well. But of course he wants to Zoom, so I'll be right back. But part of my job is making sure that things happen on time. So it is time sensitive what I do. So I can't just drop things in my day job to make my writing career happen the way I want. Now that being said, I haven't updated you on some of the things that have happened recently, and maybe we should go over all of my responsibilities so you kind of can see where my stress is coming from, what this video is even about, and where I think I need to go from here. So first, let's talk about why you guys are here. This is a writing channel. So where am I with my book? Nowhere. I'm still in chapter 1. I have not been hit with the creativity stick yet. It's not really flowing. And I don't think it has anything to do with the book at this point, because every time I go back to thinking about the premise, it still clicks, but the words are not there yet. And so that leaves me thinking of a couple of different reasons. I'm still burned out. It's very possible, since I wrote my dystopian and started querying it in September of last year, I have not stopped. So it's been a full year of working on something with no breaks. So that's been a lot. And then even before that, I had only started querying my first book, I think in January of that year. So really, it's been a couple of years of just straight writing and traditional publishing industry stuff. So it is possible that I'm just tired. I'm just burned out. That being said, I also want to make sure that I'm not making excuses for not being motivated, because I am struggling with motivation right now. I've been getting up at 5 a.m. I've been playing a couple of games on my phone, stupid games. I've been just sitting here, consuming content and working, because again, my busy season is July through September. Like I said, October we should start seeing a slowdown, but I haven't seen it yet. So we'll see. And maybe that's just too much for writing right now. Not even bringing in all of the external things that are happening in the world and how politics and economy and all of those things aside. The next thing is something that I'm really excited about and I want to pursue. And I've talked about it before, but I have been reading for an agency. I'm really loving it. I feel like I'm learning so much. There have been a few fulls that I have requested that have gone on to get offers, not from my agent that I work with, but from other people. And I've always found a reason where I'm like, I don't know, this feels like a lot of work. And like, I didn't think that it was worth it at this point in time. And I would have been like, I'd love to see a revision, but obviously they have an offer. So like, I don't know. And then I got some really hard truths from the agent that I'm working with that made me feel like there's a reason that I'm being hesitant on things. And she appreciates that. She actually reached out recently last week. I think it was, no, 2 weeks ago. And 2 weeks ago, she was like, hey, do you want to do a few more things? And I was like, hell yeah. Like, I would love to grow. Like, that's why I'm here, right? I'm here to experience all the things. So we put a training session on the calendar and it was about an hour long. And we went through two things, the editing side and like how she treats her clients and what she looks for and like all of the rounds that she does and things like that. And then we went over the industry matchmaking with editors side. And she was like, which one do you feel called to do? And I was like, listen, they both sound really great. I'm so willing to step in where you need me, where you're tired, things like that. And she said, well, actually, there's one more thing. There's a manuscript that I just can't get right. I'm not communicating correctly. I don't have a vision for it. Would you be willing to take it on and start with the edit letter and go all the way through to submission with this author? And I was like, yes, that is the thing that I want to do. I want to adopt this author and make her my own and play agent with her. And of course, all of this is going to be supervised by my agent and the agency and things like that. So I am not communicating with this author at all. All of my thoughts are being filtered and run through this agent. I was sent the manuscript. This agent has read it multiple times and given feedback multiple times. So this manuscript has been looked at several times. So I read 10 chapters this weekend of this book. I'm going to read it through first, the full thing, and then I'm going to go back and take notes. And she did suggest doing that. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for this book and to work on it and feel like an agent and see if this is really for me. Not only that, but recently the agent opened back up for queries. So I am now juggling reading fulls and responding with a reader report. I am reading this full for this author, and I'm also in the query inbox. So it really is me trying to balance all this time. And then on top of that, figuring out when I can write. Now, again, I want to do all of this. So I'm not upset. I'm not looking for a way out or regretting anything. I just don't know how to be as efficient and effective as I want to be. And that's half of the reason for this video. Because then on top of all of that, I have 2 kids. I have a husband I love dearly. I have a grandparent that I'm taking care of. And with that, it's an extended family that's very reliant on my grandmother that I've kind of started stepping in and helping them as well. And it's we just moved. There are things that we still need to do here, and my bookshelves are still not unpacked yet, and I'm walking the dogs daily because we don't have a fence, and I don't trust them to run in the country by themselves, and it's just like a lot. And then I have friendships. I have a Discord that I'm very active in. And I have social media that I'm supposed to be keeping up with and promoting myself as an author. Like, there are so many things that feel like full-time jobs. And I mean jobs in a very positive way, like things that I want to do, things that I want to keep up with, these responsibilities that I owe to myself as well as others. It's gotten a bit overwhelming, and I do think that's part of the reason I can't write. I can still get up, I can still take care of like bare necessities, like my kitchen, clean. These blankets, not folded. Like my bed, only half made right now. I opened up a Dr. Pepper at about 8:30 this morning because it was easy. I had cake for breakfast 2 days this week already, and it's Wednesday. And I just haven't had breakfast today. And who knows, it might be cake again. But like I've been cooking, I've been cleaning, I've been doing things, but I feel like the progress I'm making is so slow. And I don't know how to make it better. So what I want to do is I want to romanticize everything that's happening for me because I am following my passions, and I'm very lucky to be able to do that. But I've also had really low days where I've crashed out and done The Sims for hours, or I have run away and locked myself in the bathroom so I could have a really long bath and play stupid phone games just to like disassociate a bit. I've had several requests for my manuscript. I've had even more rejections, and that's been a roller coaster. I have several friends on sub right now, and I sometimes don't know how to support them. And then I have friends with book deals, and they have problems, and it's hard for me to sometimes be there for others when I'm feeling so crappy about my situation in the trenches. But I think I have so much passion for books and for doing what I'm doing right now that it will sustain me even if I have bad days. Waking up at 5. I am looking at Scrivener, and then I will transition into work after I put the boys on the bus. I'll get ready for the day, do whatever I need to do, transition into work, get what I need done. I usually watch YouTube or Twitch while I'm working, so that's not a big deal. I can keep caught up on my content. Although I am all caught up on AuthorTube. I swear, as soon as a new video comes out, like it's already watched. I can't help myself. It's what I want to watch. It's what I want to keep up with. But right now, because Twitch is like 3 hours, like that's really been sustaining me. And then I'll try to keep YouTube going during lunch breaks or just when I have free time between like work and getting things done there and whatever else pops up during the day. And then kind of towards the end of the day, I want to switch probably around lunch to reading. And I want to read, let's see, if I have an hour, I can probably read at least, let's say 5 chapters. These chapters are pretty short. I can probably read about 5 chapters in an hour. 3 to 5. Let's say 3 to 5. Let's be conservative here. And then that will get me done with this book. I can definitely binge this weekend too. Like I'm going to finish this book this week so that next week I am starting my notes. And then I want to take notes for a full week. And then I want to put my edit letter together that 3rd week and then turn it in to my agent the 4th week. So if we're looking at a calendar, because I love my planner, you guys. Very simple, very pretty. If we're looking at October, what I think I'm going to aim for is this week, it's the 1st week of October, I'm going to finish this read by the 5th. And then by the 12th, I'll go back through and do my notes read through. And then that week, I'll do my edit letter, so I'll turn that in the 19th, 20th of October. And then that gives me almost 2 weeks to read any fulls that I request, because I am reading this client book, but I'm also in the slush pile still, and I'm still plugging out things that I love. And right now, my agent is open, so I'm getting new queries every day that I can jump on. As a reminder, like, this is not me doing anything by myself. My agent is reading everything and giving feedback to us where necessary and things like that. So this really is us just having a safe place to learn and ask questions, and it's been going really well recently. So that's the plan for agenting. For writing, I may just take October off, you guys. It's hard for me when I'm feeling so overwhelmed to get words down on the paper when I know I have so many other obligations that I need to do. And I think this is something to think about when you're going with an agent who is building their list as well as writing. If they have a day job too, it's just so much work. Add in a family, kids on top of that. Like, I don't know how many hours there are in the day. And I'm not saying they can't do it. There are some people who are just good at this. And I haven't found my groove yet. I haven't had to do it. So maybe it is super doable and I'm just intimidated, which is very, very possible. But because I have goals and dreams for this industry, and even though I have really crappy bad days, I don't know, I want to keep going. I love it. I love every part about this. Even the rejections, like it tells me something about the subjective taste of who's reading. I'm at about 18,000 words. So what I think I want to do is maybe I want to get to my catalyst. If I get there, perfect. And if I don't, I'm further and I'm close. So I'll probably end up writing the last 2 weeks really heavily. So that'll be for writing. And then for querying, DV Pit is the 8th. I have an agency call the 10th. Nightmare Weekend is the 17th and 18th. I'm pretty sure that's a con. I don't think I'm going to go to that, but I do have it written down. Storyteller's Hearth is the weekend of the 24th, which I will be participating in. And I have a lot going on. From there, we go into November, and November is another huge month for the industry and writing. I also want to look up the dates for Frankfurt. So the Frankfurt Book Fair begins on October 15th, and that'll last the rest of that week, and even going into the week of the 20th, like, all of these agents are just going to be getting caught up and maybe like rearranging their subs or diving into their inboxes to be like, okay, editors wanted this, like, do I have anything? So I am really excited to pick my agent's brain about that. And I don't think she's going, but there probably is someone from the agency that's going, or they have someone from the UK that they work with that reports back, things like that. So I'm interested to pick her brain on the 10th when we get together for our meeting and just kind of see like how she's prepping and things like that. So that's October for agenting and writing. Now for my kids, I really want to bake some cookies. I got some Halloween cookies for them. I want to make some dinners with them and just make sure that I am putting in the work because they deserve it. And I love my kids, and it's fall on the farm is going to be such a special time, and I want to make sure that they aren't getting left out because I have dreams and aspirations. I want them to take inspiration from what I'm doing, because I didn't pursue this in college because I was told I couldn't make this a job, and maybe I couldn't have. But it's so late for me to be doing it now that I feel very lucky to have gotten into this position. So I want to make the best of it. And then for my husband, every other week is going to be date night. I'm going to pick a date one week and then he'll pick a date the next week. Or we'll just split, like someone picks dinner, the other person picks like the activity, usually a movie. We're really big movie people. That's all I've got for October. And I bet when you guys saw my video, you were like, September querying update video. And that is not what this is. I currently have 18 full requests, and I got a lot of rejections and no full responses in September, I think at all, actually. But let me pull up Query Tracker super fast. I'm sitting at a 16.7% positive reply rate. But as a reminder, none of this matters if it doesn't turn into an offer. It is the highest I've ever been, which means that my premise is hooky. It's what they think editors might want. And the writing of, my initial package is decent. But if I don't execute on the rest, it doesn't matter. So just keep that in the back of your mind if you're struggling, because I know it's champagne problems, right? But at the end of the day, we're in the same spot. Nothing matters until you get an offer. And even then, until you get a book deal, you're kind of still waiting. And maybe you're waiting in different rooms, and some are more luxurious than others, and you're still waiting on that same start to your career. And that's really hard. I'm just going to do what I can do, stay on top of the overwhelm, get done what I need to get done. And if that means I have to change some priorities, then I'll change some priorities. For example, this bitter end checklist, my new project, Drafting Act 1, I really think that I can do that. I really think that character work will take me a day, maybe 2, to do the exercises that I want to do. Querying, those 2 things take a day. Reading, I'm a binge reader, so those are 2 very easy things. I think I said this earlier, but my husband and I were going to go see The Long Walk, and my kids got sick, so we couldn't go. Hopefully we can go next week when my in-laws have the kids, but we'll just have to see. And I can watch The Witch any day that I don't have a ton of meetings, or when I'm doing laundry, or when I just have a moment to myself. I already have my eye on a few new classes, and then the miscellaneous, the research horror trip, that's a field trip with my kids that I'm gonna bring a notebook along with. It's gonna be a couple of hours. The writing retreat is already booked in for several days, and I'm super stoked for that. I do have one agency meeting in the middle of that retreat, but that's only for an hour, and the rest of the time should be just writing. So I'm feeling pretty good. The 2 categories that I'm not feeling the best about are short stories and social media. I have never in my life written a short story, and before I got asked to take on some more responsibilities, I needed something to fill the passion that I was having that I couldn't relay into my new project. And that was what this was going to be. But I'm wondering if I need to replace short stories with agenting and building up my toolkit there. Or maybe it's social media, because I've not been posting. I really want to do 13 video uploads, and I think I'll make that pretty easily. But this accountability thread, if I'm not writing, there's nothing to be accountable for. So does that need to change? And I haven't talked to Brie about changing this yet, so I'll have to see what she thinks, but I don't know how to shift my priorities for this specific challenge to make it work. So hopefully I'll have an update for you next video on how I'm going to do that. But for now, I'm just going to keep doing what I can do, and that's waking up early and grinding it out and trying to add a little bit of self-care in when I can. And I will say, summer and winter are really hard on my chronic pain, and that's going to be another stressor that I've got to deal with. I know this hasn't been a super uplifting or fun video, but I want to showcase that you can still chase your passions when things suck. Because things right now, they're hard. That doesn't mean I can't do it. It just means I need to suck it up. I need to figure out what's going to work and what's going to keep me being efficient and effective, and go from there. I think that's it for me today. Thanks so much for hanging out. I'll see you next time with an update. Bye!